So hopefully everyone's week has been going great. We are midway through, and I hope you all are having an awesome week. My name is Bob Cole. I'm an assistive technology instructor with Society for the Blind, and welcome to our first life seminar for 2024. It's hard to believe we're in 2024 already, but life stands for living independently, free, and empowered. And that's the kind of mindset that we need to constantly work at developing, because the way that technology is, the way that things are in society these days, barriers can be broken in a much greater capacity than ever before. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to go around and do a little icebreaker. And if you don't feel like breaking the ice, it's okay, but it's nice to get to know everybody who's in the meetings. And so what we'll do is I'm going to go down the list here, and hopefully we don't have multiple people with the same name, but if we do, we'll figure it out. Um, and what we'll do is I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell us if you are an instructor or a student. And then I'd like to ask you, because today's topic is going to be on AI, artificial intelligence, not about fire trucks going down the street, because I think that's what just passed by out there. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's the thing about live meetings online. You never know what's going to happen. There could be dinosaurs rummaging through my house sometime. You never know. But what we're going to do is we're going to go around. Please introduce yourself by name. I'll go down the list, and if if the name that I read out sounds like you and you are uh, able and willing, feel free to unmute yourself and just give your name if you're a student or an instructor, and what AI is to you and what you think that it could be. And if you are dialing in via the one tap mobile number via the phone, you can use *6 on your phone's keypad to unmute, and *6 will mute you again. And we will be having a guest coming in later on in the meeting. He is one of the co-founders of the OCO app, which, if you've not heard about it, it's in right now, it's only in the App Store. It's called OCO AI Copilot for the Blind. And at its present state, it is an artificial I think it's an audible pedestrian system app that monitors traffic lights, and it helps you to be able to cross at some of the more complex crossings. Not a substitute for mobility, but we'll talk about that down the road here. First of all, let's get to these introductions. So, first one on my list, it says iPhone Robert. If that is you, feel free to introduce yourself, and if you're not able, that's okay.
Hello, this is Robert, and I am a student with the core side. I am also a volunteer with Careers Plus and SIP and the Sierra 2 building.
Awesome. It's good to have you, Robert. And so, Robert, as far as AI, is it something that you're familiar with, and what is it to you? What does it mean to you, and what do you think that it could benefit?
So far, AI helps me read any of the menus that I read, and it helps me out a lot. They had demonstrated some of the glasses here a little while back, and that was kind of neat too. It'll kind of tell you what the scene's like as far as Be My Eyes was pretty nice too. That helps me out a lot.
Oh, I love what's available nowadays. It's absolutely amazing. Well, thank you for your input and for introducing us. Glad that you're here, Robert. Um, next, oh, the list kind of changed on me. That's okay. All right, so Terry, you're up next.
Well, hello, everybody. I am an assistive technology instructor at Society for the Blind. And wow, AI, it keeps changing and getting crazier and better and scarier. So I don't know what to expect. I know I've loved Alexa for sure. And I don't know. My eyes are open and I'm willing to just see what's coming next.
I'm right there with you. Thank you for that. And let's see, next up, we've got somebody that's under the name iPhone. If that sounds like you, feel free to unmute and introduce yourself. And um, what, let us know if you're a student or an instructor, and what AI is to you, what it means to you, and what you foresee as far as its benefits. Okay, I'll come back. But if you're under the name iPhone, um, just feel free to come in if you'd like, but there's no obligation to do so. And let's see, we've got Eliza here. I know who that is, I believe. She might not be able to respond at the moment either. It says computer audio muted. If you're available to, you can do Alt A on your computer will unmute you. And if you're not able to, it's totally okay. Okay. What we'll do is we'll continue on. So we have Joseph, you are the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Thank you, Bob. My name is Joseph Nguyen. I am the mobility instructor here at Society for the Blind. I teach cane travel for the core program. I think seeing AI to me is just another tool in the toolbox worth mastering before, fully depending on it. There's a lot of applications out there
Yes,
that are great as well, and are worth exploring. But this is the future. Why not know it, right?
exactly. Thank you, Joseph.
Absolutely, Bob.
Let's see. We have Michael. You are the next up on the list.
Okay, I got that. Yeah,
There
my
you
name
are.
is Michael. I'm a student from Sacramento. And AI is kind of what Joseph said. I feel the same way, and it's just really hard to keep up with it. So I'm working on that.
You'll get there. It all just comes with time and just continued, like always, constantly researching and stuff. There's
Yeah, it's
so much
constantly,
out there.
yeah, it's changing so quick. It's like once I learn something, there's something more advanced out. Yeah, so it's cool though. I
Yes.
like it. Yeah.
Oh no,
All right,
there's
thank you.
awesome stuff out there. Thank you.
Mhm.
Let's see. Um, so we have someone again under the name iPhone. I think you had come in. It says that your audio is unmuted, but I'm not sure if you were trying to speak. If you can hear me, um, sometimes with these meetings that it can be quirky. So let's see. We have got I think that's Careers Plus program. Is that you, Brandy? Oh, might not be able to be unmuted at the moment, but what we'll do is we'll come down here. Ninja for Real. I know who that is.
Of course, you know who this is.
Yeah, of course I
Hi,
know.
everyone. I'm Marcus. I'm one of Bob's students. Um, I love everything about AI. I love it. I love technology, so AI is just part of it. Um, Only thing I don't want is a 2029, which is coming up here in a matter of years. Anybody who's a movie buff, that's a Terminator reference for Judgment Day. So yeah, where AI takes over the world. So yeah, I just don't want that to happen. But everything else, I love it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Marcus. I definitely don't want that happening. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Bob.
And
It was Brandy.
hey, there you are.
Okay. Sorry, wait a minute.
You are totally okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Really annoying.
Yeah, that's
I'm trying
technology.
yeah, hold on. I'm trying to unpair with my AirPods because, I use them as hearing aids now and it's really annoying sometimes. Hold on.
No worries.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Absolutely.
Okay, and I took a screenshot of myself. Oh, that's lovely. I love when you do that. So speaking of AI, woohoo! So it's Brandy, living skills instructor, and careers plus coordinator. I'm so good at it too. And I have Dee Dee Myers here in my classroom. And we came in a little bit late, so we missed the question. So I'm going to let Dee Dee introduce herself.
Go for it.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
And Dee Dee is taking assistive technology with me, and we are working on iPhone.
Awesome. Oh, there's going to be a lot of AI stuff to mess around with that. So the question was, what does AI mean to you, and what benefits do you see of it in the future?
Dee Dee?
I'm not sure.
Not
That's
sure?
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, because you're going to learn a lot
Okay.
today.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
For me, AI, I've been working and around with Be My Eyes AI, which is really amazing. And I've used it consciously and unconsciously for many, many years now. So it's wonderful. But like all things, I think there is a fine medium, and like all things, there's good and bad, and it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. So as
Exactly.
human beings, we have a responsibility. It's not the technology, it's the human beings.
Exactly.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
I totally agree with you on that. All right. Let me see. I'm going to continue going down the list here. Lisa, if you're available and you're able, feel free to unmute and introduce yourself and let us know, what does AI mean to you and what benefits could you see with it? Uh-oh. And, oh wait, okay, yeah, she's still there. She may not be able to get to it, but we'll continue, and if anybody, because sometimes it takes a while to find that mute button depending on the circumstances. And so if you're, wanting to introduce yourself, feel free to unmute and jump in as we go. But if not, it's totally okay. Let me see here. Salote, welcome in. If you're available, feel free to unmute and introduce yourself. And if it's not workable at the moment, it's totally okay. And for now, we'll next up we have Sweet Ann. Welcome. How you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Good
Can you
morning.
hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sweet Anne and I'm a student. Yeah. So,
You're totally fine.
okay.
Well,
Yeah, so for me AI it's kind of like my assistant, kind of like assist me especially with my blindness. So, like for example, in the development of voice activated or virtual assistant, it can provide like information with a lot, or like for example by just asking Alexa, like, you know different kind of stuff, like for example what's the weather, so something like that. And kind of like AI kind of like help me image recognition, kind of like describe a scene or object through audio feedback, aiding kind of aid it helps me aid in navigating and object identification. So yeah, so that's AI for me. So it kind of like this application or AI aim to enhance accessibility and independence for individuals like me who has visual challenges. So yeah, that's it.
well, thank you. I totally agree with you on that. Let's see. So let's say just re-entered. If you're up to introducing yourself, feel free to go ahead and
Okay. Hi,
there you go.
everybody.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Salote. I'm a student at the Society for the Blind. And I've been using AI with Seeing AI and Be My Eyes. And it has really helped me being independent especially in reading my own documents and check to bake. I can just scan the barcode and it'll tell me what to do.
Yeah, I absolutely love what's out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Next up, looks like we have. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I'm pronouncing it according to the way the screen reader is. Trishana.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sure can.
Okay, yes. My name is Trishana Karn and I'm a student and I just see AI more as like another thing in the toolbox to help me become more independent. I haven't really had that much exposure to it, but I think it's always something to learn more about and I find it really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and I love the answers here because the mindset is exactly where it needs to be when it comes to AI. It is a tool. It's a scary thing. There are some documentaries in various places, such as YouTube, that can put a very scary perspective to it. But the reality is, just like with everything, like Facebook and YouTube and social media, it's a tool. And so, what exactly is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence, and in one aspect, it's a study. It's a study of how machines learn. In another aspect, it is something that we can use in an interactive manner, and we've been working with AI for quite some time. If you have had, say, for instance, an Amazon Echo device or an iPhone from the time that Siri was introduced, or a Google speaker, um, then um, you you have interacted with AI. It may be in its most rudimentary form, but it's been AI nonetheless, and it's been studied for much longer than what we've really known about it. There are some statistics that are definitely scary. Um, one such statistic stated, or an estimate stated, that AI is going to take over roughly about 85 million jobs. However, it's also estimated that AI is going to create 97 million jobs in the future. Um, there are a lot of people who are very concerned about that, which is understandable. But the difficult part is it's not going anywhere. There was recently released. There's a place called the International Standards Organization (ISO). Recently released a standard sheet that's to help to determine how AI is to be used and how companies are supposed to ethically make use of it. AI is in a lot of things these days. If you ask your assistant a question, we have apps such as Be My Eyes, the Be My AI feature. We have Seeing AI. There are several others. And let's see here. So, um, and there are a lot of facets to AI. I could probably talk about it for a much longer time than would cover this, the duration of this meeting slot. But it has a lot to offer. If you own a Roomba, um, you have something that works with AI because it tries to learn the pathways around your home. Um, let's see. So some different aspects of AI that we're going to look at. I'm gonna talk today first about, let me see here. I'm going to bring up a video that I had taken of Be My AI. And if this is something that you haven't used on your phone yet, you will, I'm sure. Your instructor will get around to showing it to you at some point or another. There are so many cool apps out there now. So Be My Eyes was originally developed as a one-way video calling platform, and you um, you can sign up as either a volunteer or as someone who's receiving assistance. And as of recent times, I believe that there are over 577,000, definitely more than 577,000 individuals who are blind or visually impaired who are signed up with Be My Eyes, and then there are over 7 million sighted volunteers. And that app has been used for things like helping to guide somebody to their gate at an airport, among many other things. And they um, they they recently released this feature called Be My AI, and they are working in conjunction with a company called OpenAI. If you've ever heard of ChatGPT, they are one of the well, they're the big companies behind ChatGPT. And if you haven't heard about it, we'll take a look at that later on in the meeting. My guest is supposed to be here in a few moments, so what I want to do is I want to just introduce um, first and foremost, because this the guest who's coming in, he is one of the co-founders of the OCO app, which is an app that is used to serve as an AI audible pedestrian system. So it will help at traffic stops. Now, none of these tools are intended to be used as a substitute for orientation and mobility skills. You cannot replace those skills. It's absolutely crucial to um, to go and get orientation and mobility training so you can learn to travel, get around independently. This OCO app that we're going to take a look at here. I did say originally that we were going to look at Be My AI, but due to the timing, I'd like to introduce OCO first, being that the guest is a co-founder and he can kind of segue into that.
Zoom meeting. You are connected to
And
computer audio.
so basically, when I bring this video up, what you're going to hear, and I will make sure that sound is on this time before I open that up. I'm standing at a crossing that's not too far from my area here in Modesto, and the parallel traffic flow in that area, that the street goes into a church. I actually attend there for some meetings and things like that during the week. The traffic flow in that way going parallel is not consistent. So I typically would walk up to the crossing to the north of me where the traffic flow is consistent. There are no, audible crossing signals up there. And so long as you know how to read the traffic and you listen, it's all about being aware of your surroundings. Then this crossings are fine. You just have to be self-aware. And your confidence grows the more training that you have. But I didn't cross at this crossing because the parallel traffic flow was not consistent. So actually, one of our instructors, Diane, had talked about the OCO app during one of our staff meetings. And so I tried it out and I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. So here in this video that I'm going to show, I'm at the crosswalk. You're going to hear a lot of sounds, so just be ready. If you have earphones on, you may want to just be ready to possibly turn your volume down for a moment. I'm not sure how loud the audio is going to be
Your
coming out.
program started screen share.
There
You
we
are
go.
viewing for program screen.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this. This crossing is definitely an interesting one. The OCO app, it's going to give audible signals as to the light. Basically, when you open up OCO, you just hold your phone out at about chest level, point it straight across, and it will detect the stoplight. So I'm going to fast forward at points so we don't have to watch through all of this, but just get ready because, like I said, the audio is going to be It could be loud. Open Oko.
Don't walk signal. Don't walk signal. Don't walk signal.
Okay, so you hear it beeping slowly, and it says "Don't walk" signal. Visually on the
Loading
screen,
page. Loading complete.
visually on the page, there is a kind of red label at the top with white text in it, and it's visually says "Don't walk" signal. It's also audibly saying that, and it also has haptic feedback, so it'll vibrate as well. So let's continue this here.
Don't walk signal. 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 Don't walk signal.
Yeah, that stoplight takes a long time. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here.
Don't countdown signal. Countdown signal. Countdown signal. Countdown signal. Countdown. Walk sig. Walk.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
The program has stopped screen share.
Basically, as you see, this app it studies the traffic light, it watches the color. It does not, as our guest Michael will talk now. I won't.
Jim Johnson has left the meeting.
I definitely don't want to take his thunder on that, but he'll also let you know that this works strictly with the built-in AI and the camera on your phone, so you can actually have airplane mode on, and this will actually still work. So let's take a look here. Just gonna go through here. Okay, so I guess in a moment, I'm just waiting to hear a notification, and if the guest isn't able to make it today, I still have plenty of things to cover the time with. This app, they do have some plans for the future. I'm going to let him talk about that as well, but there's some really amazing things that they're wanting to do. This app, they're just kind of a starting company right now. They want to continue to offer the app for free. Just like Be My Eyes, there was a conference called Site Tech Global that took place a number of weeks ago, and they also want to keep the Be My Eyes app free for the users. So they are trying to find ways to generate revenue, because a lot of this stuff takes time and engineering and things, and is as much as I am personally against subscription models, I do understand why they have to be there. These companies have to keep themselves going, but especially in this area, I don't know what the cost is for utilizing AI. A lot of the ChatGPT based items, they run through OpenAI's servers, and so they have to be connected to remotely. However, Oko does not require that. It's strictly analyzing the color of the stoplight and analyzing the patterns to see if there's a timer or anything else along those lines. So I guess briefly what I'll do, I'm actually going to change my Amazon device's name really quick so that I don't risk setting everybody else's off if you're listening on speaker. So Alexa, change your name to Echo.
Okay, you can call me Echo on this device in a few seconds.
Okay, and hopefully you all can hear that. Let me make sure that this is up at the highest. Echo, set volume to 10. Okay. So some of you might not be aware of this. ChatGPT is a chatbot-based AI, and so there is a computer application. They have it available for iPhone. It does have some. It does have some caveats as far as accessibility.
Michael Jensen has joined the meeting.
There we go. And there is Michael. Hey, Michael, it's good to see you again.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing?
How are you? How are you doing today?
Good. Doing good. How's your day going out there?
Good. Busy,
Good.
but awesome.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So this is Michael Jansen. He is a co-founder of the Oko app, and we actually connected through Instagram. And I'm going to put myself on mute, and he's going to kind of fill us in as far as the Oko app. And then after he's done, what we'll do is we'll take some questions. And also, if if after today you would like to reach out to Michael and the OCO developers, and if you have any questions or input or anything like that, I can provide Michael's email address for you. And if you need, just let one of your instructors know or let me know, and I can get that information out to you. But I'm going to put myself on mute. And Michael, the floor is yours. It's good to see you again.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Bob, and thanks for everyone to tune in today. Hope you all are new to the app because that's what we like, of course, instructing people that are new to it. So I'll take you, or I'll start briefly with an introduction. So I'm Michael, one of the co-founders of a company which is called Eyes. And we're based out of New York, to be specific, in Manhattan. And originally, I'm actually from Belgium, and immigrated to the United States roughly half a year ago. And back in 2021, we started our company due to the fact that we have a blind family friend named Kenny. And myself and my two other co-founders were all computer scientists with a background in artificial intelligence. And we started to think, and we back then, of course, had our full-time job. And we started to think like, hey, we are working all in respective jobs in artificial intelligence. And we saw a huge boom in autonomous vehicles. Take an example here in the US, like Tesla's being able to drive on a highway autonomously using cameras or other type of sensors. And so we kind of set out like, hey, if that's feasible for cars, why can't we use that same technology to help pedestrians navigate the world, and more specifically, blind and low vision pedestrians. And so that resulted into diving deeper into like challenges that our friend had, Kenny. And so most of, or I would say the most difficult challenge that he faced was crossing a street when there's a signal, so a pedestrian signal. And so also in terms of like background there, what we learned back then is that not a lot of pedestrian signals are being made accessible with what we call an APS, or an accessible pedestrian signal. So it's those boxes that are attached to some sort of pole, which if you push that button, it announces the walk or don't walk sign via an audible or vibro tactile cue. And you most often also have like an arrow, which should point towards the crosswalk, but not necessarily is always the case. And so the thing about these boxes, these accessible pedestrian signals, is that around 5 to 10% of all the intersections globally do have one. And so that means, or that leaves 90% that is just not accessible. And so from that inspiration, both from our friend and knowing that that was the case in most cities, we actually developed a mobile app, which is called OCO. And how is OCO spelled? It is spelled OKO, and that's also how you can find it under the App Store, because it's a free app that you can download. And so the reason why we wanted to do a mobile app is pretty straightforward, actually. So our mission is to democratize access to the physical world, and we saw that we can only have a huge impact on a lot of lives if we can do that by delivering our services into a mainstream product. And that mainstream product for us is just a smartphone, and very specifically an iPhone, given that we're only on iPhone today. And so OCO is an iPhone app, an iOS app, that uses your smartphone camera and artificial intelligence to identify pedestrian signals. And so what is a pedestrian signal, or what we define as a pedestrian signal? It's a walk symbol. So that's a white walking or white/green walking person to indicate the walk sign is on. And then a red hand to indicate the don't walk sign is on. And so that's walk and don't walk. And there's even an intermediate phase, which is called countdown or clearance. And so what that means, and not all signals have it, but what that means is that basically you have a couple of seconds left to cross the street, and it literally counts down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 0, and then it goes to don't walk. So there's 3 phases where the pedestrian signal can be in. And so all these three are interpreted using our artificial intelligence and by using that camera. And so we provide, whenever a signal is detected, we'll provide you three ways to get that status in, and they're all differentiable. And so one, or the first one is that we provide visual feedback. So on screen, there will be a green box with walk signal words in if the walk sign comes on, or a red box when the don't walk sign is detected. So people can look at their phone instead of trying to interpret like 20, 30 feet away the icon and hence know what the status is of the signal. So that's visual feedback, but I think more importantly is the second and third, which is audible feedback and vibration coming through the phone itself. And so I don't know to what extent you guys are familiar with what a physical APS produces, but that's a very fast ticking sound to indicate walk and a very slow ticking sound to indicate don't walk. And so that's something that we've implemented as well for our kind of feedback. But in addition to the beeps, we also have a voice just announcing continuously walk signal, or for don't walk signal, it's don't walk signal, don't walk signal. So by default, we'll produce both that beep in combination with the voice, but that's something that you can always configure later on if you want to only have the beep, the voice, or the combination of the two. And so for the vibration, which is a third feedback, it's actually the same pattern as we use for the beeps.
Melody Harris has joined the meeting.
Very fast beeps, very fast vibration means walk signal, and very slow vibration means don't walk is on. And so that's pretty convenient, of course, for deafblind people, but ultimately, given that you're always relying on your given that you're relying on your own ears, even blind people or low vision pedestrians just mostly rely on that haptic feedback. Again, it's something that you can configure to your own needs, which are just all doable within that settings, which you'll find in the app if you go through some buttons. And so to conclude, I would say is the educational part of how to use OCO. Basically, when you're approaching an intersection that is signalized, you are getting to the curb or you're getting to the truncated domes. It's that moment that people take their phone, open up the app. It can be, hey Siri, open OCO, or through voiceover. And so basically, whenever you are in the app, you're good to go, because there's no action required today to launch that recognition. I'll maybe quickly put Craig on mute if that's possible. I don't know, because every time there's someone joining, there's that announcement. I don't know if I'm the only one that hears it, but I think Bob, you're also on mute, so I'll just continue. But maybe you can do that.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Let me see. Greg, if you're possibly possible, it looks like it was saying that you're unmuted. I'm gonna, if you're able to mute, I'd really appreciate that. But if not, I can see if I can do it from my end. But no worries.
Sure, perfect.
Right,
but I'll continue. Yeah. So whenever you're there, you've opened up the app. The next thing to do is to hold your phone at chest level. So that's very important to always remember that the phone should be in the middle of your body at chest level, because that's the ideal height to let the camera interpret your surrounding and hence look for pedestrian signals. In addition to the recognition of the signals, we also help people to orient themselves. So what does that mean? If you're at the same intersection again, hypothetically here, and your parallel street is on your right side, we always encourage people to rotate their body together with the phone that is in the middle of their body away from the intersection. So that's to your left side. And by rotating away from the intersection from left to right, you'll do a certain rotation of your body. And as you rotate at a certain rotation, let's say, the camera will pick up that pedestrian light across the street. And so the moment that happens, you'll immediately get that audible feedback or the vibration. And that means that you're aligned with where the crosswalk is. And so it's pretty important to note that our feedback is instantaneously, given that all the AI, although it's very complex software, it all runs on your phone locally. So that means that we don't require you to have a Wi-Fi or a cellular connection, because of course we from day one wanted to offer a tool that works regardless of that connection. So you can even put your phone in airplane mode and we'll be able to still tell you the walk or don't walk sign is on. So you did that rotation. The don't walk sign, for example, comes on, you hear a very slow beep and the don't walk voice. And so the walk sign comes on after that, and you'll get that feedback in as well. Of course, you should always use our technology in conjunction with any other skills, O&M, guide dog, white cane, or whatever you're using. And so what's interesting there as well, and it's, I think, a third value of the app, some people tend to veer off when they're crossing the street. And so interesting enough, given that or our technology relies on line of sight, the moment that you're veering off is the moment that the camera no longer sees the pedestrian signal and the feedback automatically stops. So the drop of audible or vibration feedback means that you're pointing and hence your body is going in the wrong direction. And that's why it's so important to have that connection with the body and the phone by holding the phone at chest level. Because that always ensures, let's say, that the camera is looking where you as a pedestrian is going into, or walking into, let's say. And so whenever that happens, if you're veering off, the feedback stops. For that moment, people use our tool again to reorient themselves so that you can rotate your full body to search where that line is again, where that light is. And the moment that you get the feedback again, you know that you're going in a good direction. So it can be used to correct yourself if you tend to veer off. And that's also why a lot of people use our technology, because of course I know that sometimes you can just rely on parallel traffic and those kind of sounds, but ultimately the veering off still happens in those occasions, right? So our technology can be used even for solving that issue if at all that's the case for you. And I think that's I would say in a nutshell what we currently do. We've launched our app here in the United States almost a year, or we're coming to a year in March of this year. And so the last year was phenomenal. We've helped cross 1.5 million streets, which is incredible to see. And we also see in an anonymized way where people are using it, like in
So going home, eh? Yes.
Oh, I think Jessica, if you can quickly try to mute yourself, that would be appreciated. So as I mentioned, we've helped cross 1.5 million. We've helped cross 1.5 million streets, and it's pretty cool to see where people are using it. And it's most often, of course, in like metropolitan areas, like where, of course, there's a big concentration of traffic lights. But it can be used everywhere. We've seen activity in all states here across the United States, which is pretty cool, given that we've been already here for 9 months. Imagine what we can do this year, let alone in the coming 5 years, right? So that's why we always encourage people to help sustain our mission, from leaving a review in the App Store, contributing to send feedback, whatever helps us. That's what we're looking for, because ultimately it's a free app, right? We don't want to charge the end user. Ultimately, we want to work with businesses and all those stuff. But so ultimately, we really rely on our community to help us create a great product, evolve that product, and help spread that word amongst the community or just beyond where you're living yourself. So for the time being, I'll open up the Q&A, Bob, as we did yesterday. And then I'll see if there's like still some room available to maybe give people a short indication on like where the Oko app is evolving into this year and onwards.
Absolutely. So we'll open up the floor for some questions and answers. And so if you have a question, what we'll do is just go on ahead and unmute yourself and then just introduce yourself by name and then go on ahead with your question. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of do a what some people refer to as popcorn style. So if you unmute and you're the first one, then we'll just go and we'll continue through. So if you have a question or a comment, even comments, go on ahead and just unmute yourself and announce your name so that we all know who's speaking, and then go ahead and go for it. What we'll do is, because I know sometimes it takes a while to find the mute, especially if I know sometimes when I'm in a Zoom meeting, I'll have it on my phone, and I will sometimes take a moment to get there. But I'll ask a question to Michael.
Sure thing. Go ahead.
So I'd asked about the future plans yesterday, so I'm gonna go a different route now. Do you guys have any plans to also develop for Android, or do you primarily stick with iOS?
That's a good question. So ultimately, there's that vision that we can at some point go to Android, but right now there's multiple reasons why we are only focused on iOS.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, to start off with, we're a team of 7, so we're still a smaller company. And of course, given that we're a free app, we don't have so much revenue yet. So we're based or primarily relying on external investors. And so basically the Android story, it all originates from the fact that our vision is to run our AI as it is today, or any AI that we will develop, on your phone locally, because that's the main selling point as well. It's so instantaneous feedback. It helps them with the veering off in the case for pedestrian signals. So having that reliability is ultimately what people value about us. And Android is just generally so much harder to realize that on-device AI. And there's also just so much more Androids, right? We need to support an iPhone 8 or to the 15, which is like, I don't know, a dozen of devices, which is pretty doable with a smaller team. But if you think about Android, there's like thousands of devices.
Yes.
And ultimately, for us, that trade-off right now doesn't make sense. Also taking into consideration that the community in general, the majority is on iOS. So we focus or try to capture that market first. And if we succeed in doing that, we'll ultimately have the resources to go to Android. But doing everything at the same time, it's just a waste of focus and a waste of time, I would say, because having first ideas to sustain our business by working with those businesses, I think that's more our route or journey towards that Android story. And ultimately, if we go to Android, it will also be a question like which type of Android devices we will be able to support without mitigating the risk of losing the value of what Oko is today and ultimately what Oko will be tomorrow.
Exactly, because I know that some of the budget friendly, like the iPhone SE and things, one thing the iPhone does not shirk on is the camera. And some of the iPhone or the Android devices, the lower, the more budget models, they they do take a hit in camera quality, which is a huge thing when it comes to using that. So
yeah, I think it's you totally hit the nail correctly. I mean, we need 3 things, right? A good camera, a good battery to run these things, and then also like just the hardware, the computational power. And so indeed, an iPhone SE has been shown an awesome device, although of course it's the quote unquote cheapest iPhone.
Right.
It is still an awesome device, and I mean, it's just a thing in the community in general. If there's an app, it will always be first on iOS, and then it will be going to Android. So not advocating everyone here to switch to iOS, but definitely always take that into consideration when buying new phones or thinking about either going to Android or the opposite. You have so many apps that are just only available on iOS at the first, and then it comes to Android. That's just a general trend that we see.
Let's see. I've got someone in the chat. I'm gonna message back. If you're under I'm not sure of your name. You're under iPhone. And if you're able to hear me, you had asked in the chat privately how to ask a question. You can ask your question in chat if that's convenient. If you are muted, you can unmute by, if you're using VoiceOver, at the bottom left corner of the screen on your iPhone. You could double tap the microphone button to unmute your microphone, and you're more than welcome to ask, audibly. If it's more convenient to type a question in chat, my screen reader is giving me announcements of the chats that are coming through. So whichever way is most convenient for you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
My name's Chelsea, and I was using an iPhone doing multiple things, and so I just didn't see the mute button, but they just moved it. No big deal. So my question is, I'm a student with Society for the Blind. I am hearing impaired and a total. Is the OK app something that someone could use that has no vision whatsoever? And then how would that work with somebody who wears hearing aids, hearing impairment? So it would go, my phone directly goes through my ears through Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. So our app totally supports any AirPods, hearing aids, anything that is like Bluetooth connected. So ultimately, the sounds will come through your hearing aids in your scenario. The good thing, of course, is that you can always, within settings, you can always configure the intensity of the signal. By default, everything is like normal, but you can also put it louder or less loud. But again, while you're crossing the street and you're detecting a signal, you can also use your volume up or down to, like, in real time, lower it if that's like the case for you, or maybe increase it if there's like a very noisy environment. But of course, you also can toggle off the audible, and you can only get the vibration in. So you can just rely on vibration coming through the phone, in addition then to using your own ears to analyze traffic. So it's a bit of like what you would prefer to use, but ultimately there will be something that will basically fulfill your needs.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Chelsea.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Any other questions today? Just feel free to unmute, introduce yourself, and ask away, or if you have any comments, go for it.
Hi, this is Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hello. I have
Hey, Terry.
not I've downloaded the app, but I have not had a chance to try it. I've heard so many good things about it, and thank you for making it free. But I'm wondering, is it strictly for crossing streets, or is there other things that the app recognizes when we're on a mobile route?
Yeah. So basically, right now it's indeed for only the identification of crossing signals, so the pedestrian signal, walk and don't walk. But of course, that's the great thing about our company. We're young, we're motivated to do more and more stuff as long as, of course, we know what to build. So basically, what we're always looking for is, what are your challenges? And maybe Terry, I mean, you can leave it here in the group, or we can have a quick chat afterwards. But what we want to know is, like, what are your challenges specifically? What are the challenges for people that we meet here in New York or anywhere else? And then try to consolidate that into new features. And maybe that gives a brief understanding of because I'm looking at the time as well, that what we're working on or towards is being an AI-driven navigation app. And so what that means is that we want to use the current GPS navigation apps like Apple Maps, for example, and build on top of that certain accessibility features. And one of those can be, if you put in your route, that will be able to tell you whether the street that you're crossing is a signalized intersection. And if that's the case, that we can tell you, hey, did you know that this is a signalized intersection, and that you can use our camera to interpret the signal. And there's so many other scenarios that you can think of. It's limitless. Like going to a bus stop, maybe we can use your camera as well if we know that your intention is on your route to go to your bus stop. So ultimately, what we have great ideas, and we're starting here to try out some beta functionality specifically here in New York, not so yet on the West Coast. But ultimately, what we need is, and Terry and everyone here, we need to have your experiences with the app where you see we can add more value. And that's the only way for us as a developer and a company to know what we should build to maximize and increase that value so that you can use it every day. That our mission is only succeeded if we help people whenever they're going outside. They'll use Oko to do whatever, going to a restaurant, going to the medical's doctors, going on a random walk. We just want to capture everything in one dedicated app.
All right.
So Terry, please feel free to reach out if you're interested to share your experience walking around, what your challenges are, so we can capture that and combine that with all the others that we're chatting with.
Yes, thank you. I will do that.
Yeah, Bob has my contact details. So Bob, you can just after this, and also for the session or for people that attended yesterday,
Thank you.
just leave my phone number. I'm always available, or I mean, if I'm not in a meeting, but I always try to be my best, or my email, whatever you prefer. But Terry, definitely test it. It's an awesome app. You're not the only one, and you've probably heard great things about it as well, as you mentioned. So
well, they know that anyone that doesn't come in and do it, I'll go down there. I'll get through
One moment here. Sorry. There we go. I think someone may have been unmuted and didn't realize it. So sorry about that. But yeah, I know I want to definitely be respectful of time too, because I know it's about 2 p.m. over there, New York time.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
So if anybody has any follow-up questions, I can send you Michael's email address. I put it in the chat. If you're able to take it down, it's simply Michael at ayes.ai. Michael at ayes.ai. And if you need that email address, feel free to reach out to your instructor, and I can forward that on to you. But
Psychiatry, Gloria speaking. Can you hold? Thank you. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna sit over here and try to listen to this.
But definitely appreciate your time, Michael. And
yeah,
very much appreciated.
Most definitely, and I hope to see some people contacting me. So have a wonderful day there, and hope to talk to you all soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks so much. Thank you, Bob, as well.
Anytime.
Have a great day.
You too. And
Bye-bye.
I definitely have some other things to show you all while we're still here. But definitely a great guy. He had actually reached out to me on Instagram, because I'm out there on Instagram sometimes, and I had shared something out there about the Oko app, and so he had asked about having a chat, and I told him about these seminars and asked if he was free New York time, and so it just worked out to have Michael here with us, which was awesome. It's really cool when you get to talk to the developers of these applications. So before Michael came in, I had demonstrated the Oko app, and now I want to show two more because it's probably not a lot of time left. I want to open it up for some questions and discussion as well. Have a little bit of time at the tail end of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. The next app that I'm going to show you is the Be My Eyes app, that is particularly the Be My AI feature, and that recently rolled out to Android. The great thing about this right now, there's a feature difference compared to between Android and iPhone. And I'll discuss that here in a moment. But what I did in this was it was actually yesterday in the morning. I took a picture using the Be My AI feature of Be My Eyes, And just a quick thing, because if I would have tried to have done it on the fly during our meeting, that just opens it up for technology snafus, and I just wanted to circumvent that if all possible. So what I'll do first is I'm going to play this video that's a little demo of Be My AI and how it's used. Of course, you can use it to a greater degree.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Are you on the phone?
No, I'm on a Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah,
One,
Zoom. Yeah.
Are you ready to come back?
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
its
How you doing,
greatest.
Warren?
I'm
Yep, I
well,
think
how
we
are
have
you
somebody.
doing?
Not
One
good.
second, guys.
Oh,
Well,
Sorry.
for one,
Okay.
okay,
okay, let's get back over
There
there.
we go.
okay, yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
don't care. You ain't got to worry about helping with me. Tell my business. Tell all my business. I don't care. As long as they
thank
can
you.
buy my food.
That's it.
I don't care.
You know what? Oh, you can use?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But see, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing.
One
I'm
moment,
gonna
guys.
turn
I'm
this down.
sorry.
Hey there,
Because
Calvin.
yes.
Calvin, you are not muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries,
It's
no
okay.
worries.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's
we hear
Alt
everything,
A,
bruh.
Alt A, if
It,
you need.
yeah, it definitely happens on Zoom, but yeah, don't worry. It totally happens. I was just trying to find you so that I didn't interrupt your conversation there or anything. But don't feel bad. These things definitely happen. There have been a lot of Zoom meeting snafus over the years. I could tell you stories. Okay, so what I'll do is and thanks for that, Joseph.
Certainly, certainly.
Okay, so I'm going to share this demo of Be My AI, and let me my player. Okay, and this is just a quick snippet of how it works, and you should be able to hear it. If you don't hear it within 5 seconds, I'm going to count down. Just if one of you would unmute and just let me know, because yesterday I totally forgot to enable the sound on these things. Should be fine now, but this is Be My AI. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate Be My AI, part of the Be My Eyes app, and I'm going to take a picture from my patio, see what we get. It's now analyzing. Okay, and a description has been generated on screen, and I'm going to read it here. It says, the picture is taken from behind a screen, possibly a window screen, which makes the view slightly obscured. It shows a residential area with a 2-story house across the street. There are bare trees with no leaves, suggesting it might be fall or winter. The sky is overcast, and it appears to be a gloomy or cloudy day. There's a car parked on the street in front of the house. There's also a partial view of a balcony railing. Let's scroll down here and make sure I get that. A balcony railing in the foreground. Okay, there we go. So I actually had the opportunity to go on a date earlier this week, which was definitely interesting. Good time. But she was telling me that the restaurant that I had taken her to, that the walls were decorated for like Valentine's Day, and so it opened up the door to talk about AI, because she's actually sighted, and so it gave me the opportunity to show her how that works. And so I took a picture of the wall, and it described like everything, described the setting, the pink lighting. Now, obviously, a lot of things are going to depend on the lighting. There's also, when you take a picture using Be My AI, there's a button that's on the bottom left. It'll let you take another picture, and on the bottom right, you can actually ask a question, and it'll bring up a chat conversation, just like you be accustomed to with iMessage or other text messaging applications. And you can actually ask it questions about the um, surroundings and everything. Now, what I'm going to do, let's see here. The last one I'm going to show here is a demo of seeing AI, because I want to definitely have some time for questions. So this one is going to be of Microsoft's Seeing AI, and this was recently launched on Android as well. And this app also has this app has multiple channels. There's a quick text channel. There's a lot of them that I could discuss. I'm thinking about making a YouTube video about it. I'm sure that there are others out there as well, but um, but basically, um, this app has multiple what they call channels that you can use for detecting paper currency, describing a scene, and much more. The feature that I'm going to show in this video that I'm about to bring up is pertaining to the document channel. And this is a pretty amazing thing. So my 11-year-old and I are enrolled in a karate school down the street, and there's a paper that they gave us when we enrolled that talks about the purpose. And when we begin classes, um, they ask us what the purpose is, and we have to very loudly announce the purpose, which is to develop oneself physically, mentally, spiritually, and have good character. And so let's take a look and see if Seeing AI is able to identify the purpose. Here we go. Make sure that the app screen is sharing. Okay, and now it should be up. Okay, here we go.
Channel, short text, adjustable, document. Left not visible. Hold steady. Processing. Cancel, button. Back, button.
So, with Seeing AI, I have scanned this document for karate school. Let's take a look here.
Jesus loves. Free. I will develop myself and reduce mine.
So we have all the text here, and with Seeing AI, we have the ability to ask a question.
Ask Seeing AI, button. Ask Seeing AI. Text field, is editing. Ask a question.
So I'm going to ask it what the purpose is.
W. H. A. T. Space. What? I. S. Space. T. H. E. Space. P. U. R. O. R. Numbers. R. Letters. P. Numbers. Question mark. Question mark. Purpose. Send. Button. What is the purpose? The purpose, as stated in the document, is to develop oneself physically, mentally, spiritually. Voiceover off.
All right, I'm going to turn voiceover off here. And it answers the purpose, as stated in the document, is to develop oneself physically, mentally, spiritually, and to have good character, which is absolutely correct. There are a lot of things that you can do with this. Just absolutely an amazing app. And I actually
Have you made any menus that we could take with us yet?
Hey Shan, we don't have any like paper menu.
One second.
Said
Okay.
this week they'll finish that.
All righty. So I don't know the new sandwiches very well yet.
What did you used to get?
Robert, I
I
believe that
usually
your
got
phone
the
is unmuted.
pastrami mommy.
Let me see.
Oh, okay, yeah, we don't have that one. You have
There we
still
go.
the Reuben. Let's see.
What's on the Reuben?
Corned beef Swiss, our kraut, and then we had
1 second, guys. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'll skip that.
The only other one with did you ever try the California Carnivore?
No, what's that one?
It's got tri-tip meat on it. It's got blue cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion.
Oh, I don't like the blue cheese, but it sounded good until you said that.
1 second, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's do that without blue cheese.
We also got cucumbers, horseradish tomato. Is that all right?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. So, apologize, guys. I'm not sure. Robert, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I think your phone might be unmuted, my friend.
You want to add like
There we go. So these AI apps are just absolutely amazing in the things that they're able to do. I was at a restaurant and I used Seeing AI and took scans of the menu, and I believe that you can scan more than one page. And so I was at a restaurant and I just decided to ask it, which dishes come with fried potatoes? And it was able to analyze the text in the documents and give me a very thorough description as to the dishes on the menu that had fried potatoes. Now, a lot of that stuff depends on the lighting and things like that, but these are the things that AI is able to do right now. Imagine what's going to happen in the next couple of years, next 5 to 10 years. Um, there are going to be lot of possibilities. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the floor for anybody that has questions, comments, anything along those lines. Feel free to unmute, introduce yourself so that everyone here in the meeting knows who is speaking, and go ahead and give your comments or your questions. I can't guarantee that I will know all the answers, but I can always try to find out.
Yeah, this is Marcus. I just wanted to order a spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh, spicy chicken sandwich sounds awesome.
Just joking, but I like what you're showing here. I don't use the apps, but I will definitely check them out and download them because it sounds very interesting. So yeah, thanks you for sharing that. It's
Yeah,
something I'm gonna look
anytime.
into and
Well,
check
don't worry,
out.
because we'll be getting into iPhone training, me and you. So
Oh yeah. So
we'll get to be
show
working
me
on
everything.
this.
I want to know everything.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you, Marcus.
All right, this is
You're welcome.
Robert.
Thank you.
I got that sandwich order for you.
Oh, you got the sandwich order?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'll bring it down.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Robert.
I really like the AI, but I like the idea he was talking about finding bus stops.
I know.
I was having troubles finding my bus stop. During the day, I know exactly where to walk, but when it's super dark outside, either at night or in the morning, I have a lot of fun. I actually have to kind of coast along in the street to get up to the bus stop rather than walk right up to it, the one around the corner from my house. But just to be able to find any of them in general, I think that's pretty exciting. He was talking about that.
Yes, I'm excited about that feature as well, because if it's a bench, I can find that pretty well. But if it's a pole, I mean, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell whether it's like a light pole or a bus stop
no
pole
parking
yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited about that. And I don't think that he got fully into this part, but he's also wanting to try to they're also wanting to try to reach out to local businesses, and they would have the ability to put their menus up there in an accessible format as well. And so so then if you're going to a nearby restaurant, you would essentially be able to find an accessible version of the menu, which would probably allow some sort of application program interface or API where if the restaurants have a new deal of the day, they can go and immediately update it on the app. And those are the ways that they're wanting to try to generate an income, as opposed to, trying to charge subscription fees to the users. So they have a lot of cool things coming up. And I definitely hope the best for them. But I was really excited to be able to get to talk with Michael last week, and very thankful he was able to be here and share with us.
And you can order that chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that chicken sandwich sounds awesome.
This is Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
So that's not fair to hear somebody's lunch order and make us all hungry.
I know. You got to bring some for the class. You have to DoorDash it to everybody.
So one thing I find extremely challenging is, like you were saying, finding a pole. If you walk around Sacramento, there are probably 10 poles at each intersection. So it's like, is this a crossing? Is this not? Is this just a power pole? What are we dealing with here? All the grass cutouts. It definitely makes navigation with a cane interesting. Yes. I use a guide dog, so it's a lot easier, but then I'm applying for a new guide dog. So, of course, break out the cane, get myself used to that. I realized so many things that he takes me around that don't exist in my world. So that's fun. As far as seeing AI goes, I have not had very good luck with that phone. I use an iPhone 15 Pro. I'm very techie. I live on my phone, and I find that app. How do I say that nicely?
That doesn't work very well, huh?
Yeah, it's I had vision in the past, so I know I'm very good at taking pictures of stuff like that. You usually hold about a foot away, yada yada is happy. But I've had very hit or miss, mostly miss with seeing AI. It doesn't like to do the short, like you're saying, read a bar
the short
like
text
I had.
and things.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does not like that. So it drives me nuts. I'm like, you would be so helpful if you would behave.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's something that you've noticed throughout people using it, or is it just a special me thing?
I've seen some caveats with seeing AI depending on the lighting. And But I think that if it's darker, I do believe that it turns the flashlight on. But with an iPhone
Yeah,
15 Pro, I'm jealous. I mean, I have a 14
these are
Pro Max, but
no, these are good lighting conditions, like on a table. Um,
gotcha.
and all the lights are on. I mean, there's really no reason it shouldn't capture it. I've
No,
noticed
there isn't.
sometimes if you kind of pull it away fast, it likes that better. Of course, some of them are rounded, and we all know how cameras like rounded, but the lid was still flat on instant mashed potatoes. I mean, you can't get a flatter
Right, right.
object. They should be able to do that one. That's not a tough. But so it's just interesting all the different options. At least there's multiple apps so you can go, all right, you're not gonna do it. So who else can read? A lot of times, to be honest, I just use the camera because the camera's gotten so good at
Oh,
reading.
it has,
Like
yes.
I was surprised it could read my debit card. I mean, usually that's too much color, too little, too can't
Right.
do it.
Have
So
have you had similar experiences with the Be My AI feature?
no,
Did you?
I've had wonderful experiences with that. The only problem, and I guess the caveat is because I'm complete nothing now, no vision, is that when it does describe the picture, it doesn't have like a physical picture. So if you try and share that, it's just gonna share the text. So that's something you should
Yes.
know.
The
Because it's
best
like, I wanted to share the picture, not the text.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you've done this yet.
Hmm.
And if you have, being that you've mentioned that you have a tech background, then I
Yeah.
apologize for redundance. But
Nope,
um,
you're good.
there's always the option to take the picture and then use the share sheet, and then you
Yeah,
can analyze it with Be My AI, and
that's
then
what I
send the
do.
picture. Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was going to come into as well. If you use the Be My AI feature, if you have
Hmm.
pictures in your gallery for everybody else that uses it too, you can
Hmm.
go like you're going to share the picture, and you can swipe with voiceover, and you can go to describe with Be My AI, and it'll give you a
Yeah.
description of that picture. And I honestly didn't know that until recently because I saw things on Facebook, and I was like, how are you guys getting those descriptions? So I went and explored, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's in the share sheet. So
Same thing. I was like, "How are you doing that?" So I'm like, "Oh, gotcha. You got to go to the picture first, and then share it, and do it that way. So you have to do it almost backwards." And what's nice about that is because, of course, for photos, if you don't remember to put a description or a label on it, you're like, "Great, I have 900 pictures here. This is gonna be fun."
yes, yes, exactly. No, it's definitely an awesome feature, and
Hmm.
I always had trouble. Like I would want to write alt text for all the photos that I would put up because
Yeah.
I take a lot of pictures myself with what little vision that I have, especially when I'm out with my kids. And
Hmm.
but then oftentimes I'd be like, what's in this picture again? And so
Yeah.
so the Be My AI feature is great because it does you can generate alt text and put it in your social media post. So awesome feature. I absolutely love it. With Be My AI, they're eventually wanting to incorporate another service where before the AI text is generated, they were talking about this at the Site Tech Global conference. They're
Okay.
what they're wanting to do is they are wanting to have it so that it's forwarded to volunteers very quickly so that they can verify, like if they get so many thumbs ups that the description is accurate, then it'll be forwarded to the user. But I'm not sure what'll happen there because there could be privacy concerns and there's all of that red tape, but that's something that the Be My Eyes developers are wanting to look into.
Yeah. That's an interesting approach. I was thinking another thing that could be helpful, and I was thinking this more towards the OCO app, is that when you come to a street crossing, what would be great is the names of the street, because a lot of times we know where we're going. It's just you have these
Yes.
alleys and stuff, so it's like, okay, is this the corner of 15th and J, or do I have to still go further? And that's all we really need. We don't need the whole like turn left here, yada yay, and then you exited your route. That's great. How do I get back to my route?
Yeah, if you'd be interested, I can
Hmm.
pass you Michael's email address and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely raise that to him. And I'll state it out here again. It's
Uh-huh.
Michael, the traditional spelling, Michael at eyes, AYES .ai.
Okay.
And so and if anybody would like that email address, like I said, just feel free to reach out um to either your instructor. If there's you could always email me and ask as well. I'm R Cole, RCOLE is an echo at societyfortheblind.org. And anybody else have any questions? And thank you for that I'll
Thanks
write
for
into
the
for Chelsea.
comment. Would you throw your email in the chat so I can copy it?
I sure can do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay. There we go. And any other questions or comments? Thoughts on AI after all of this today? I think there's a lot of stuff for us to look forward to, and my goal is, to whatever degree I can through 2024, I want to get the word out there, because in the blind community, and some of you in here may have experienced this, you may have felt treated inferior because your vision's not there, and it does, or just because our eyes do not work doesn't mean that we can't. And we just have to keep pushing forward. And I was going to say, and I don't have this app. I don't know the name of it, but I can always look into it. But I saw on LinkedIn, one of the accessibility specialists who I follow on there, was sharing. She actually produces a magazine called Bold Blind Beauty, and I've actually have a her name is Stephanie McCoy. Really lovely person. She and I have had some good conversations over WhatsApp over the pandemic, actually. Um, but there's an app that Estee Lauder puts out that's supposed to help with applying makeup, and it uses AI, interactive through voice, and so you kind of set your phone up facing you, and it's supposed to be able to help with applying foundation and things like that for putting makeup on. Now, that's not something that would be applicable to me because I don't put makeup on. I don't know the name of it, but it is put out by Estee Lauder, and if anybody's interested, just feel free to reach out, and I can find out the name of that app for you. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline, I think. So, anybody else?
Cool.
Anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. This is
Awesome.
Jessica, by the way. Sorry.
Hi, Jessica. Let me see if I can find it out here. I'm not sure of the correct way. Is spell water? Maybe it's Lader.
And also, while you're looking for that, there's an app called Menu for All. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It is a subscription, you can do like a yearly subscription. It's where they have like 99.9% of the restaurants. So you can pull up the menu, and it's extremely accessible. I think it was made specifically for blind people, and it's accessible, like really, really accessible. And it's very easy to navigate through it. And it has all the restaurants and all their menus on there.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty
Did you
cool.
say menu for all? Is that what you said?
Yes, and it's menu and then the
Awesome.
number 4 and then all.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
And Bob, Lauder is Aludder.
That's what I was thinking, but I did find an article about the app. I'll drop that in the chat here. Yeah, I was figuring it was Lauder, but some of those names I just don't know. So my bad. Okay, let's see here.
It's not your makeup counter, right?
What's that?
It's just not your makeup counter.
Yeah, no,
Definitely
no.
not mine either.
And that's okay.
But there's a link to an article about the app. I'm going to check and see if I can take a quick skim through this and see if I can find the name of it. 1 second here. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, you should send that out we can share it with our students.
Yes.
I think it's called.
Yeah, that's a great one. I appreciate that.
I think it's called the VMA app. Let me take a look here real quick. And let me find out. Be a little bit more informal right now. All right, let's take a look here. So VMA is what it looks like it's called, but probably virtual makeup assistant, I'm guessing. Okay. No, okay, so it's so it is called voice enabled makeup assistant. Let me see how it's rated. Wow, it actually has a 5-star rating. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this over to my computer, and I'll drop that in the chat as well for anybody who'd like to copy that. Like I said, I don't have any experience with it, so apologies in advance.
None needed. I don't have any experience either.
We'll test it out, and then next time we have a seminar, we will tell you our experience.
That sounds like an awesome plan. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go and grab this link here. 1 second, I'm gonna copy it over. I just had to text it to myself on my computer here. At least there's plenty of ways to do things. That's the great thing about it, you know. Okay. All right, here we go. Grab the link. Okay.
Another question, how do we get to the link? How do we get to the chat? I'm on an iPhone.
Okay, so if you're on an iPhone, there is there are some tabs or buttons down on the bottom, and there's one for the chat that you can swipe to. I don't use the chat very much on there, but if you would like the link, I can make sure that it gets emailed to you. Like I said, you could reach out to me or to your instructor, and I can send that link over. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to find this here. Where's that link at? All right. All right. So, all right. I think I have the link here. So what I need to do is go and grab it. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna put this in, and that is the app for the voice-enabled makeup assistant. So a lot of stuff coming down the line. It's pretty exciting to see what's going to happen. And like I said, if anyone has any questions, just feel free to reach out. And again, my email address is rcole, RCOLE as in echo at societyfortheblind.org. And if you leave the meeting and you forget, which totally happens because it happens to me, because there's a lot of stuff to keep up with between karate classes, kids, a lot of stuff like that. I try not to, but that's the way it goes. That's life, you know. Feel free to reach out to your instructor, and they can reach out and we can go from there. But I hope that you all found this to be informative today. Definitely a great discussion, and I appreciate everybody's input. And if there aren't any further questions or anything, then I guess we can wrap it up for the day.
Cool. Thank you.
You're very
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks, Bob.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime. Y'all have a great rest of your week, all right?
You too.
Thank you.